berpaling jaya, 3 Japanese higher learning institutions have revealed plans to establish branches in Malaysia, said the Education Ministry. Aid Minister Dr. Masli Malik said that includes Sabah University, one of the oldest and most comprehensive research universities in Japan, Nippon Designer School, and Semakin Asia Pacific Universities. Dr. Masli, who is currently on a 3-day visit to Japan starting Monday with Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, said the ministry has started seeking potential locations for the establishment of the new universities and will aid in easing the process of establishment, registration and intake of students. He noted that Dr. Mahathir, who was conferred an honorary doctorate from Sabah University, said establishing Japanese universities is important for Malaysians as it enables them to not only learn Japanese value and work ethics, but also expose them to its education system and culture. Besides that, Dr. Masih also announced that the ministry has plans to provide a nutritious breakfast scheme for the P40 group and hopes that inculcate a culture and cleanliness and discipline among the children, from preschool to higher education. This is the result of my 3-hour-long visit to Itabashi Daiichi Elementary School, a public school located in Tokyo, which allowed me to see firsthand Japan's education method which produce youngsters with good character, said Dr. Masli, who visited Takashi Sakamoto, the mayor of Itabashi City Hall on Monday. Sakamoto expressed enthusiasm to center the relationship and cooperation between the two countries, especially in tourism and education. He is also keen on having sister city status. He hopes to have more exchange programs where Japanese students will stay with foster family in Malaysia to express the uniqueness of Malaysian culture, said Dr. Masli. We will move on with Balqish for the breaking news.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. I am Nurul Balqish binti Rosli, your reporters for today. Putrajaya, the tragedy of 6 divers of the Fire and Rescue Department Water Rescue Unit drowning during a search and rescue operation on Wednesday, October 3rd, is a first in the history of the department according to officials. When met at Serdang Hospital, JPBM Director General Muhammad Hamdan Wahid said that before this SAR operation, there were few fatal incidents involving firemen. This is the first time as many as 6 personnel died. There was one previous case where we lost 2 members of the department. We carried out CPR but could not save them, and this is a very sad day for us. One which involved so many of our employees, he said. 6 PPDA divers died when conducting an SAR operation at 9:50 p.m. on Wednesday for a teenager who fell into this mining pool at Taman Putra Perdana Puchong and was feared drowned. Director General Muhammad Hamdan said the JPBM would look at various aspects of the welfare of the families of their victims, including in terms of compensation and insurance. He said the Serdang Hospital Forensic Department was currently carrying out post-mortems on all the victims. He said that after the completion of the post-mortems, all the remains will be taken for Shah Alam Fire and Rescue Station for a final tribute before being taken back into their respective hometown for burial. The 6 divers who drowned were identified as Muhammad Fatah Hashim, 34, Izzatul Akmawa Ibrahim, 32, Mazlan Omar Baki, 25, and Yahya Ali, 24. On the Port Klang Fire and Rescue Station PPD, Adnan Uthman, 33, and Muhammad Hifzul Malik Shahri, 25, from the Shah Alam Fire and Rescue Station PPDA. He said the victim hailed from Sibu, Sarawak, Tawau Sabah, Kelantan, Port Dickson, Negeri Sembilan, and Shah Alam, Selangor. Housing and Local Government Minister Zuraida Kamruddin and Balakong Assembly Wong Siu Ki were also at the hospital to comfort the family members of the victims. Meanwhile, Ms. Shazima Saleh, 32, the wife of Mr. Adnan Othman, said she received a call about the tragedy at 11 p.m. I was informed about what happened by his friend Adnan. I was at home then, she said. She broke down after that and was unable to say anything more. Thank you.
Let's continue with the international news. BTS agency apologized over band member album shares. Seoul, South Korea. The agency for K-pop superstar BTS apologized Wednesday for members wearing a t-shirt depicting the explosions of atomic bombs and a head with a Nazi emblems. Japanese TV broadcaster recently cancelled or stopped discussing possible appearance by the band member in that country after image spreads on social media of a singer wearing the shirts. The South Korea boy band ran into more trouble after the news broke that another member wore a hat featuring a Nazi symbol in a magazine photo book. And a band member flew flag with what appeared to be Nazi swastika during a concert in the past. We would like to again offer our sincerest apologies to anyone who has suffered pain, distress and discomfort due to our shortcomings, the band agency PT Entertainment said in a statement. South Korea politicians criticized the Japanese decisions to cancel BTS appearance against Japan's of Hamburg's self-centered view on history and letting politics interference with cultural exchange. It does appear the t-shirt controversy is serious, affecting the band's popularity in Japan, with 50,000 people reportedly filling up the Tokyo Dome on Wednesday evening to watch them perform. The BTS agency said the A-bomb shirts wearing was in no way intentions and was not designed to injure or make light of those affected by the use of atomic weapons. However, it said it still apologized for failings to take the precautions that could have prevented the wearing of such clothing by our artists. In regards to the heat, it said all appeal and accessory used for the photo book were provided by media company involved in its publications. It said the flag were intended to symbolize Sakura recipients, uniforms and authorities' education system, not Nazis. We will carefully examine and review not only this issue but all activity involving BT and our artists, based on a firm understanding like the social, historical and cultural consideration to ensure that we never cause any injury, pain or distress to anyone. The agency says the 7 members of the band, which has a worldwide following, in May became the first South Korean artist to top the Billboard 200 album chart with Love Yourself Dear. The band began a Japan tour early this week. South Korean K-pop and movie stars are extremely popular in Japan and other Asian countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Mai Nur Sarah, for the international news. I will continue with the sport news. For the first topic is, ID displayed his first game in Canada. On Petali Jaya, ID Shole Ali Sadikin passed his first test with the national team with flying colours at the World Junior Championship in Markham, Canada. The 80-year-old boys single shuttler made the most of the starting berth in the midst of team event to help Malaysia crush Sweden 5-0 in an opening Group B fixture on Monday. ID defeated Colin Hammerbeck 21-17, 21-14 to deliver the second point in the tie. ID, who trains under Rashid Siddiq at the Sport Affairs Academy, is the only non-badminton Association of Malaysia (PAM) player in the 13-member squad. Malaysia went to claim their second win by defeating Canada 4-1, courtesy of victories from Wei Chi, Yu Chen boys double, Perli, Yi Wei girls doubles, Ng Se Yong boys singles, and Chin Wei Yap Roy King mixed doubles, to put them in full control of Group B. Only the group winners will progress into the quarter-final, and Malaysia are expected to bulldoze past their next 2 opponents, Poland and Ukraine. Thank you. For the second topic is, Badminton Association of Malaysia ready to let single shuttler Iskandar go once his hand in later. Men's single shuttler Iskandar Zulkarnain Zainuddin looks set to quit the national badminton team despite having survived the shock during Badminton Association of Malaysia (BAM) downsizing exercise in July. The 28-year-old has yet to tender his resignation, but has told Badminton Association of Malaysia (BAM) President Dato' Sri Norzal Zakaria his intention to leave the national setup. Iskandar could have played his last match as BAM player at the Macau Open last week, where he lost in the second round. It was part of the unimpressive displays that also saw the world number 73 failing to make the main draw of the Korean Open and losing in the second round of the Indonesia Masters, both in September. He was slapped with 3-month ban after being caught smoking in the Hilton Hotel during the Thomas Cup Finals in Bangkok, Thailand in May. Iskandar also went AWOL from training for days after the smoking incident, which clearly didn't go well with head coach Dr. Misbah Siddiq, known for his no-nonsense approach. Thank you. For the next segment is Radio Entropy will conduct by Aizaa.
Thank you, Alia, for the sport news. Now, let's move to weather news. Floods Terengganu. The school ready to step measure managed to avoid greater damage. At Hulu Terengganu, initial preparation made by school in Terengganu to save variety items, including furniture from floods. Terengganu Education Department Director Sharifuddin Ali Hussein said the move will reduce the cost and allocation from the disaster recovery school. According to him, this year he only applied for an allocation 350,000 compared to more than 5 million ringgit last year. The amount includes the school renovation work at a storm that caused damage to the pedestrian side, to ceiling and the school fence. Obviously, about 8 schools involving Dungun, Kemaman and Hulu Terengganu areas affected by the recent flood have been phased out. Now, let's move to traffic news. A scooter driver was inched away from being struck by the minivan that was sent carrying across a road after striking another vehicle at high speed. The dramatic CCTV video captured in Suzhou City in eastern Jiangsu province on September 1 shows the grey minivan flipping over after being struck by a black car at an intersection. It narrowly missed the scooter rider, who came to an abrupt halt. The driver of the black car suffered injuries to his neck, and 7 of the 8 passengers in the minivan were injured to varying degrees. According to the reports, the minivan was carrying too many persons. In addition, there was no set of traffic lights at the crossing. The incident is still investigated.
Thank you, Nurul Balqish, Mai Nur Sarah and Nur Aizaa Farihah for your news. As the closing, I will show you guys the video from inside there about how smoked salmon is made. Assalamualaikum.